more of the partner cards have been revealed, and if you guys remember the 2018 format, Buzzwole Lycanroc was a really oppressive deck, and it's back with our old friend Hop, an interesting addition. A lot of these new cards are reminiscent of some old cards in the past, and I'm going to talk to you guys about why that's the case. We're going to look at some of these new cards. I've already seen some of the spoilers. Together, we're going to do a full set review for battle partners down the line, where I've already drawn some comparisons, where I think like Hop is kind of like Buzzwole, the Ends engine is like the Fusion Strike engine, but better. Basically, it feels like each of these new owners' Pokemon has an identity, and we're going to do a little card review here with the new cards. Hi, my name is Rahul. If you like this content, please like and subscribe, and let's jump right into the new cards. So, more cards coming into the Journey Together cards, which looks like Iono, Lily, and Hop are probably going to be in this first half of cards. So whatever the second half of cards that's going to come will probably come from there. So there are cards that aren't just partner Pokemon here. Like it's not just a whole set of only partner cards, which I think most people assumed it would be. But there are other normal cards as well. Like there's a Sprigatito, Stomp repeatedly 10 times 30 for each heads. Nothing crazy here. Florigato, 30 plus 30 if you flip a coin and heal 30. Not really great on the stage 1. The stage 2's attack is not bad here with the Meowscarada with Showtime. Once per year, your turn to use his ability. If this Pokemon's on your bench, switch it with your active. So, just a free switch in. But then 90 plus 90 if the opponent actives an EX for double colorless is not a bad amount of damage to do. But unfortunately, it's on a stage 2 Pokemon. So the setup is going to take quite a bit of time to actually get up and running, which makes it significantly worse. And then we're back onto the Iono cards. I really like the Iono cards because of all the color going on. Like there's a lot of color and it's like a really cool like spray painty design here. Iono's Voltorb, Chain Bolt 20 plus 20 for each lightning attached to all of your Iono's Pokemon, which is actually a pretty decent amount of damage that you could do at some point in the game because Iono's Belly Bolt, if you remembered, has the Rain Dance ability for lightning type energies. Then we have Iono's Electrode, which is on brand with all other Electrodes that exist, with Lightning, Heart Pounding Bomb. The Pokemon does 100 damage to itself if heads, the opponent active is knocked out. So no matter what, you are basically knocking yourself out, as most of the Electrode cards do, but you are able to knock out the opponent's active if you do get heads. So it's a high risk, high reward card. I just don't think it's like, maybe you could be playing a couple of Voltorbs and maybe one Electrode in there as a sneaky little gift, but otherwise I don't think this is very viable. Electric Ball, Lightning Colors is 100. And we have the Kilowatt Trail. I don't know if we saw this already. I think we did. This art is really, really cute. I really, really like this art. I'm not someone who's like a big art person, but I've been starting to keep a cool card binder because I feel like some of these new Pokemon illustrators are really, really beautiful looking, and I think the artists have put a lot of heart and soul into them, and you can tell. So I really like this card quite a bit. It's one of my newer favorites from the upcoming sets. And Kilowatt Trail we already talked about has Flash Draw, discard a basic lightning and fill your hand to 6. So with Kilowatt Trail and Belly Bolt, you already have a flesh of an engine that's really, really strong. So any Iono's cards, including like the Stadium, are going to be very, very powerful for this card. Like I think Iono is a really scary engine because the Iono's Kilowatt Trail and the Belly Bolt can flesh itself into other engines as like support cards. Like you now have I think some players have already started putting together with Raging Bolt, because now you can play these cards in the Raging Bolt engine, and Belly Bolt basically just floods the board with energies. You just need to SADA and attach, or play energy switches and attach, and your Raging Bolts can do infinite damage pretty much out of nowhere, and you don't have to play these grass energies and these Teal Masks anymore, because Belly Bolt kind of supplements the lightning aspect of the deck, and so you free up some space. Swinub has Call for Family, get 2 Pokemon, put them on your bench. It's a very cute looking art, by the way. I really like this card as well. Piloswine, Strength and Piercing Fangs, nothing crazy either. Mamoswine EX, so another big EX, 340 HP fighting type Pokemon, weak to grass, an absolute behemoth of a card for Retreat. Mammoth Carry is the ability. Once you're in turn, you may search your deck for a Pokemon, put it in your hand. A very weak ability, and then Rumbling March, 180 plus 40 for each stage 2. Also a very, not a great attack for double fighting. If there's like a card like Credilli or something that can put stage 2s onto your bench without having to evolve up, maybe this becomes pretty good because you can just play like a Mamoswine stage 2 attacking engine maybe, but for the time being this is pretty bad. We have Hops Zacian EX, a beautiful, beautiful alt art. If you guys remember the Crown Zenith set, I believe also there was a Hops card as well. Maybe not Crown Zenith, maybe it was earlier than that, but it was a Hops Zacian card as well in that set. Close Cleave, 30 to the active, 30 to the bench. Very reminiscent of a certain attack you might know, Jet Punch. And now we're going to get there. There's going to be a lot of modifiers, and you guys are going to love this if you are a Buzzwole Lycanroc player. For 3 metals and a colorless, we have Brave Slash, 240, and you can't use it during your next turn. Pretty reasonable. I think 240 for 4 is quite a steep cost, especially with 3 of them being metal. And there's no metal acceleration right now, like Metal Patch or whatever. So it is a very, very steep attack, so it's not probably the focus of the deck. Hops Snorlax has the ability Big Belly. The attacks of your Hops Pokemon do 30 more to the opponent's active Pokemon. So it's basically just a plus 30 modifier to the active, and it does not stack, more importantly. So you can play like 2 copies of Hops Snorlax so you don't prize it, because Heavy Ball will rotate by the time Hop does come out. So you can go ahead and put 2 of these into your deck probably, get a Big Belly Snorlax onto the bench. 4 Retreat is quite a bit of an issue, but you can get into that Zacian and start just poking and prodding and just doing a ton of damage early. Basically, at least managing to go 60-30 on turn 1, and that's not all. We're still going to get more. Dynamic Press also does a pretty good amount of damage, 140 and 80 to itself, but I don't think we're ever going to really use that. Then we have the Wooloo that has Smash Kick here, but the more important card here is Hops Dubwool that has Challenge Horn. When you evolve this Pokemon from your hand, you can switch one of your opponent's bench to your active, reminiscent of a certain Bloodthirsty Eyes ability. I thought so too. Bloodthirsty Eyes basically coming back in the form of a sheep. Challenge Horn. We have Challenge Horn. We have the other thing. 2 Retreat, also so pretty steep as well, but we get the Lycanroc ability here as well to gust up some things. Then we have Hops Cramorant coming into the fray once again with 110 HP. And then for our colorless, it says Fickle Spit, 120. If your opponent doesn't have exactly 3 or 4 prize cards, this attack does nothing. So you could play the early game into like a heavy Zacian and then guarantee go into a Hops Cramorant as your second attacker and just basically do a ton of damage with this Fickle Spit because your opponent can't play around it. And Fickle Spit plus the Snorlax on the board puts you at 150 at the very least. So you're already doing pretty much enough to 2-shot anything in the format besides like Charizard and Dragapult. So a ton of damage. We have a couple more cards to see, and you guys will see why Hops continues to impress me. We have Exchange Ticket as well. After counting your prize cards, shuffle them and put them on the bottom of your deck. Then take that many cards from the top of your deck and put them face down as your prize cards. Important to note, this Exchange Ticket does not say shuffle your prize cards. This just says take the same number from the top and put them as your prize cards. So you can put them in any order you would like. So there's got to be some cards in the Pokemon TCG format. And if you guys are watching this, let me know in the comments below if there are any cards that come to your mind at the top, like the top of your mind, that let you rearrange the top couple cards of your deck in certain ways. And if you can do that, like maybe rearrange the top cards of your deck, play Exchange Ticket, you can set your prizes to be exactly what you want them to be and play from there. I know there's a Chansey that says when you take off your prize cards, you can flip for it and take an extra prize. So maybe there's some cool strategies like that. It's almost bedtime for me right now, so I'm not going to look it up on my own accord. But if you guys think of something in the comments, let me know. Seems like a really cool strategy you can do. Then we have Hops Choice Band, a tool. Our Choice Band is rotating out, and we have a new Choice Band. Hops Choice Band says this Pokemon is attached to costs 1 colorless less, which means that, ironically enough, this Zacian can attack for free with the tool, which is really crazy. The Cram can attack for free, and then you can put it on Dubwool or Snorlax, and now you can attack for 2 energies, which is crazy, and does plus 30 as well to the opponent's active Pokemon. So now Zacian does 90, Cramorant does 180, which is like just an insane amount of damage for like this Choice Band. Like Arven value has just gone insanely high up. For every card that I've seen that's been released, Arven value has just gone up, 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 and up. Like, it's just such a cool mechanic. It feels like a much more balanced version of Buzzrock because it's not blowing your opponents out of the water instantly. Like, the second attack is just really difficult to use still as the Zacian. But you still have a chance to use it. You have a chance to get to that top end of potential, and I really like that, where it's like a more balanced version of what Buzzwole Lycanroc should have been, just like I think N is a more balanced version of what Fusion Strike should have been, and Iono is a more balanced version of Rain Dance decks, and then Lily's decks are like a more balanced version of Malamar. So it's a really cool idea across the board, and Jamming Tower gets infinitely better with all these new tools as well. Brock's Scouting is a trainer supporter. Choose one, switch your deck for up to 2 basics, put them in your hand, or an evolution, put it in your hand. Would be okay, however, it's a supporter, and I think that sucks on a supporter, unfortunately. That's like a very bad effect for a supporter, because there's just better cards like a Rezu, Serrano, stuff like that are in the format, I think. Clive, I think, it does the same thing. Clive, something like that. There's just better cards, I think. I don't know. I don't like this card. And then Postwake is the final card. The attacks of your Hops Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active. Yeah, you read that right. So if you have Postwake in play, plus the Choice Band, plus the Snorlax, you are now doing 120-30 with Zacian's first attack, and then you are doing 210 damage with this Cramorant. That is an insane amount of damage. Like, you are doing so much damage for basically free. I understand you need all these pieces to get the ball rolling, but that is one secret box. One secret box gets you there. I think the Hop engine is pretty cool. I think this is the most of the fleshed out engine. I actually think everyone's going to get a stadium, everyone's going to get a tool, and everyone's going to get a supporter. So I'm really interested to see what the supporters are, because I think we've seen most of the tools and we've seen most of the stadiums, and we've seen a couple of the items here and there. Like we saw the ends item. So I'm really excited to see what the rest of these cards have to offer. But I'm really excited to see what these owners Pokemon do. So yeah, again, if you like this content, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out.